W.B.U.D presents Channel Colossus, episode 57, The Irony. For the sake of this video, I want to preface with saying that the foundation of my ideology is Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, and Booker T. Washington. Period. End of discussion. And I bring that up because my man Malcolm say that one of the most threatening things to the so-called Negro from this point on referred to as D.A.Ns is the white liberal. And to summarize what Malcolm says, pretty much the white liberal will shake your hand with the right and stab you in the back with the left. Period. Now, I lay it in with all of that to bring up the topic of Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas. Okay, I was never really a fan of Clarence Thomas. Basically, I'm not a fan of any man. So I remember Clarence Thomas. Didn't even want to do too much research on him. I just wanted to flow off of what I remembered. I remember back in the 90s, when I was a youngster and the world revolved around me, so I wasn't paying much attention. But I remember Clarence Thomas being grilled because he was being nominated for Supreme Court. And I remember being a big old skerfuffle involving him and Anita Hill. You remember the pubic hair on the Coke can? Yeah, that was crazy. But anyway, wasn't paying too much attention, but it's amazing how this thing comes full circle. And the antagonist of that hearing with Clarence Thomas was none other than Joe Biden. Okay, we're going to get back to Joey Biscuits in a minute, but what I wanted to touch on was the fact that the connection between Malcolm X and Clarence Thomas, just happened to stumble upon the fact that Clarence Thomas was a disciple of Malcolm X, and that's what led him to the Republican Party because he despised the white liberal. It's amazing to me the number of black folks that openly despise this man, and for no other reason than it can be no other reason than him being a Republican, because he's not real boisterous or anything. So it's just the fact that he's a Republican. Now, I have a video about the Democrats and black folks and the Republican Party, how many black folks was Republicans back in the day before Lyndon Johnson's Great Society. Go check my archives. Channel Colossus episode number 20. Blacks and the Democrats, or Democrats and the black, one of them. You got celebrities around here calling this man Uncle Clarence, and the other guy, Tim Scott, who I ain't a fan of, but call him Uncle Tim. Now, Samuel L. Jackson called this man Supreme Court Justice Uncle Clarence because of the Roe v. Wade decision. Negro, you out here making movies that a white man directed where he got you getting some head from another white man. Hey man, cut that shit out, man. You played that slave Negro in Django Unchained, and you right here calling somebody an uncle something. Man, you Negroes is crazy, man. Hollywood coon out here name calling and being the tip of the spear for the liberal. Ridiculous, man. Being used. So to sum it all up, I'm just exposing how the liberals always using D.A.Ns as the tip of the spear for whatever cause. I don't care what it is, racism, sexism, anything, and right now, I remember saying it before, that when I heard the LGBTQ LSD people say that this is the new civil rights. And then nobody don't want to believe it. But now, here we go. We got this black woman, Kiara Bridges, from Berkeley College. She's a law professor now, and she having a conversation with Missouri Senator Josh Hawley. Now, look at how we're being used, and look at our eyes.
Mr. Chairman, thanks to all of the witnesses for being here. I want to visit with you, Ms. Maskey, but before I do, I just want to clear one thing up. Professor Bridges, you said several times, you've used a phrase, I want to make sure I understand what you mean by it. You've referred to people with a capacity for pregnancy. With that be women?
Many women, cis women, have the capacity for pregnancy. Many cis women do not have the capacity for pregnancy. There are also trans men who are capable of pregnancy, as well as non-binary people who are capable of pregnancy.
So this isn't really a women's rights issue.
We can recognize that this impacts women while also recognizing that it impacts other groups. Those things are not mutually exclusive, Senator Hawley.
Oh, so your view is that the core of this right then is about what?
So I want to recognize that your line of questioning is transphobic, and it opens up trans people to violence by not recognizing that.
Wow, you're saying that I'm opening up people to violence by asking whether or not women are the folks who can have pregnancies?
So I want to note that 1 out of 5 transgender persons have attempted suicide. So I think it's important
because of my line of questioning. So we can't talk about it.
Because denying that trans people exist and pretending not to know that they exist.
I'm denying that trans people exist by asking you if you're talking about women having pregnancies.
Do you believe that men can get pregnant?
No, I don't think women can get pregnant.
So you're denying that trans people exist?
And that leads to violence? Is this how you run your classroom? Are students allowed to question you?
Absolutely.
Or are they also treated like this? Where
No,
they're
they're
told
allowed
that they're
to
opening up people to violence?
We have a good time in my class. You should join.
I bet.
You might learn a lot.
Wow, I would learn a lot. I've learned a lot just in this exchange.
Absolutely.
Extraordinary.